You thought this phone was weird? You haven't seen anything yet. So, today we're going to be installing a custom ROM on the Samsung Galaxy Young 2. Now, the weirdest thing about this phone is just like the tiny size it's got. Now, the size could be one thing, but this thing's got like 512 megs of RAM, probably the weakest SoC you've ever seen. So I'm really excited to crack this thing open and take a look at the custom ROM seat it's got. Oh, and also, speaking of the specs, this thing is running TouchWiz, which I'm sure doesn't help. So let's see if we can unlock the bootloader. About device... Oh wait, sorry, wrong section. Developer options. USB debugging. Wait, do we even have to unlock the bootloader on like Android 4 devices? You know what, let's just stop wasting time and take a look at XDA. Oh, okay, that's not good. We only have one thread and it's for the original device. You know, at least we can use like Google custom search filters to help. So we got CyanogenMod 12.1, Extreme Disploded Android 6 Basic OS. Alright, let's go with this one. The fastest Galaxy Young 2 ROM. I mean, I'm already sold on the thing. Includes One UI 6 fonts, system sounds, no bloatware, and the installation steps seem pretty straightforward as well. We enter download mode, install the TWRP tar file, and then the ROM itself. But you know, based on my history, something's probably gonna go wrong, but whatever, let's just wait and see. Let me guess, files down, right? Standby error. Alright, yeah, it's never that easy. Alright, let's try TWRP SM G130H. Oh, you know what? It turns out there's like actually newer versions of this available inside of that same directory, which still have mirrors, right? There we go, okay. Now we turn off the device, then we press volume down, home, and power together. Then we press up to continue. Wait, did it even register? Oh, there it is. And now we fire up Odin and see if it flashes. And, oh, it actually flashed. We can't let the phone boot into TouchWiz because it's gonna like overwrite TWRP. So we take the battery out, then we put volume up, home, and power. And we're now booted into the TWRP, which, god damn, that's small. You know, I like to think I have pretty good eyesight. I actually wore glasses as a kid, and I can't even read what text is going on down here. Swipe to allow modifications. Now we download the ROM itself. Oh, it turns out it's a mega link, and somehow it's actually still available, which I'm really thankful for. Alright, when it comes to installing the ROM itself, the guide said to use an SD card to install it, but I don't really have a lot of those on me, so I want to see if ADB side will work out. Alright, let's drag this in here, hit enter. And total transfer 0. What? Thanks. Alright, I gotta have one of these around here. There we go. Okay, a bit of time later, I got the file on the SD card. So now we just click on it, slide to install, and please work. Oh, cool, we got an error. Can't install this package on top of incompatible data. Oh yeah, we gotta do a factory reset, I forgot. Wipe, format data. Then we type in yes, or we try to. It's literally not letting me hit the S key. What am I supposed to do in this situation? Never mind, there you go. I had to like aim above the S to hit it, so now it'll work. Alright, it's a new fun issue. It's been 10 minutes and the format hasn't completed yet. Okay, let's kill the device, go back into recovery and try it again. Let's just try a standard wipe instead. And it's gonna do the exact same thing, isn't it? Okay, it kinda worked, but not really. It only wiped cache, but it can't mount data. Alright, so new idea. We're gonna reflash TWRP using Odin, and inside of Odin, we're just gonna wipe the entire NAND completely. Let's do options, and there we go, NAND erase. Let's just nuke this entire thing. Hopefully that fixed it. Alright, it's looking kinda good. We're not getting an error at least. It still can't mount data in cache, but it seems like the script actually succeeded this time. Yeah, the reason I say seems like is because just take a look at this from where I'm sitting. And now we're booting into... Wait, is this a stock firmware? I mean, the developer did say he was using like custom boot animation, so this might actually be the ROM. Turns out it actually is the custom ROM, but I didn't sign up for this. Pack ROM? I guess I do see like the One UI style around this though. Huh, oh, okay, so as soon as I connect to a Wi-Fi network by like going through the setup, it kicks me out, says unfortunately settings has stopped, and I gotta redo this all over again. I mean, that's a bit weird, but it should be fine. And it seems like that's it for the, don't tell me it kicked me out again. Okay, we're good, we're good. My first impressions of this custom ROM is that it's like held together with duct tape, but it does work pretty decent. It does feel a lot more fluid than One UI when it comes to just like the responsiveness of the system. And we are on Android Marshmallow, right? There it is, Android 6.0.1, and apparently we're on a Basic OS 1.0 beta. Is there a newer version of this? I'm flipping through the thread here, and I'm not seeing like any new download links for the ROM itself, but the guy commented on this thread like as recent as January 26th of this year. I guess it's not that bad. We'll just deal with the issues that are... God damn it, not again. Now, we could just call it a day after doing this upgrade, but going all the way to Android 6 from Android 4, we get a bunch more app support, so why don't we try out some stuff like, you know, like Discord? I quickly went inside dev options to enable ADB to like install the app itself, but I just realized we could probably speed this thing up even more by reducing the animation speed. Let's try out 0.5 for everything. If I could confirm it, thank you. Okay, well, time to do everything all over again, thanks. Let's see. Okay, took a second. That was instant. Alright, so this thing is so goddamn underpowered, even the animations can't save it. I mean, it's pretty fast for basic apps, but stuff like the developer settings, I guess is too intensive to close immediately. So with that logic, it's obviously really smart to try out Discord on this thing. This is gonna go terrible. Okay, it's taken a sec to load the images. There we go. Log in. I can't tell if my touch didn't register. Okay, it was just loading. Alright, status update. We got 2 loading bars here, and the app crashed. I tried to log in and the entire app crashed. Alright, can we like install via browser and try to watch YouTube then? Wait a sec, how long does it take to do a search on this? 1, 2, 9, 10. Okay, so 10 seconds. And YouTube itself, 17, 18, 19. Okay, so 19 seconds. And to play a video, it's... I mean, I'd like to count, but it's not even loading. I waited a couple seconds and the search page on YouTube was so slow I had to go back to Google and like use the video tab there. 11, 12, I'll see it in 2 hours. 53, 54, 55, settings crashed. Okay, it's damn near 2 minutes. I don't see anything playing, but I heard an ad play. Okay, well, thanks for the seizure. And after waiting a bit more, we finally have the video. I wouldn't say playing, I'd probably just say dying. So I decided to give the phone even more time, and we have the UI loading just fine, but the screen, it's still strobing out. That's just embarrassing for this phone. I've never seen YouTube so bad it could kill somebody. And I would give the thing some credit for being able to like make a Google search fine, but the keyboard, man, the keyboard typing experience on this is so bad, it's not even worth it. So overall, yeah, pretty cool custom ROM you got here, but you're trying to optimize a phone that's already shit. The only reason I could see somebody try to use this thing today is like an MP3 player, I guess, with a headphone jack, and you know what, actually, we can download VLC on this and try that. And I was able to install it just fine, at least the version from 2020. Even though the latest version of VLC supports like Android 4.4, the SoC inside this thing is so shit it didn't even support it. Guess we'll take a look at this one though. If it loads. Alright, it's time for the ultimate test. We're gonna play one MP3 file locally. It's like the equivalent of running Crysis on this thing. Okay, actually not bad. The file plays immediately. So yeah, that's pretty much the one realistic use for this today, playing local MP3 files, which, I don't know, an iPod from 2001 can do. At the end of the day, though, I'm guessing the developer did the best he could with this device, so next up we're going to actually take a look at CyanogenMod 11. Now, what makes CyanogenMod 11 special is that it's based on Android 4.4 KitKat, which makes it kind of like the last gasp of classic Android. It's got like the hollow design theme, which I still think is the peak of Android's design, but anyways, on this thread, if you try to click this link, it takes you to a fun 404. But if you scroll down a bit, there's actually a source web page. And then from here, if you click on MediaFire, the ROM's actually still available. Hey, there we go, and wiping it this time, it recognizes the data partition. Now we just gotta wait for CyanogenMod to finish. Done installing ROM. Good luck. Thanks. The thing hasn't even booted yet, it just looks so good. Unfortunately, the process... Okay, so it's gonna happen on this ROM too. And now that the CyanogenMod loading screen comes up, are we like in a loop here? Come on, we gotta click OK, hit next. Alright, yeah, so this is just gonna be completely unusable. Alright, well, if this phone's not gonna let me use it on Android 4.4 KitKat, let's just torture the goddamn thing and force it to use Android 7 Lineage OS 14.1. This thing's gonna explode. I swear, if I see one more settings crash dialogue, I'm gonna just launch this thing out a window. Gotta tell you, it's kind of weird seeing this boot animation on this phone. And usually this kind of behavior appears when you don't wipe your Android device, but considering the fact that wiping it itself took like an extra 2 minutes, I'm gonna give it like an hour or two. Yeah, no, it's been an entire day and still nothing. We gotta pick a different ROM. I've been doing some more searching here, and there's really not a lot of custom ROMs developed for this thing. However, I did manage to find just one more by looking in this directory on Android File Host. Mini ROM lollipop.zip. I have no idea what this is, but we're just gonna flash it and find out. Just perfect. As soon as I want to download it, Android File Host decides to go down. And randomly now the website wants to work. So there's gonna be a mirror available, right? I dare you, Android File Host, show me no mirrors found. Oops, no mirrors found. Alright, yep. Thanks for watching. I mean, it's like, genuinely, I'm doing my best here to showcase as many ROMs as I can, but nothing's available. You know, I think this phone has one of the worst custom ROM scenes I've ever seen in one of these videos. Because you either get Exhibit A, where the file's down or they, like, deleted their account for some reason, or you get Exhibit B, where the ROMs that actually are out for this thing just don't work. Now, it's a pretty low bar this thing has to clear, but my definite favorite ROM for this phone has to be Basic OS Tiny Core, just because it makes this thing actually usable. Because at least compared to TouchWiz, this thing kind of flies when you're trying to, like, do basic stuff like, say, open the messaging app. But anyways, thanks for watching. That's installing a custom ROM of the Galaxy Young 2, or, you know, custom ROM, one single word, not plural. But yeah, let me know down in the comments, what other phones do you want to see me install a custom ROM on next? Alright, I'll see you later.